Method statement, safety interview, questions and answers. Question 1. What is a method statement, and why is it important? A method statement is a detailed document that describes how a specific task or activity will be performed safely. It includes the sequence of work, hazards involved, control measures, and emergency procedures. It is important because it ensures that all workers understand the risks and the steps to mitigate them, promoting a safe working environment and compliance with health and safety regulations. Question 2. What key elements should be included in a method statement? Project details, name, location, and description of the task. Sequence of work, step-by-step breakdown of the activity. Hazards identified, potential risks associated with the task. Control measures, steps to eliminate or reduce risks. For example, PPE, barriers, training. Emergency procedures, actions to take in case of an incident. Roles and responsibilities, who is responsible for each part of the task. Equipment and materials, tools and resources required. Training and competency, qualifications of workers involved. Question 3. How do you ensure that a method statement is followed on site? To ensure compliance with a method statement, conduct a toolbox talk or pre-task briefing to explain the method statement to all workers. Supervise the work to ensure adherence to the outlined procedures. Regularly monitor and inspect the site to verify that control measures are in place. Encourage workers to report any deviations or unsafe practices. Review and update the method statement if conditions or risks change. Question 4. How do you identify hazards when preparing a method statement? Hazards can be identified through risk assessments, evaluating the task and environment for potential risks. Site inspections, observing the work area for hazards like uneven surfaces, overhead obstacles, or confined spaces. Consultation, speaking with workers, supervisors, and safety representatives to gather insights. Reviewing past incidents, learning from previous accidents or near misses. Using checklists, referring to industry-specific hazard identification tools. Question 5. What would you do if a worker deviates from the method statement? If a worker deviates from the method statement, stop the work immediately to prevent potential accidents. Discuss the deviation with the worker to understand why it occurred. Reinforce the importance of following the method statement for safety. Provide additional training if necessary. Report the incident to the supervisor or safety officer and update the method statement if needed. Question 6. How do you ensure that all workers understand the method statement? To ensure understanding, conduct training sessions or toolbox talks to explain the method statement. Use visual aids like diagrams or videos to illustrate the steps. Provide the method statement in multiple languages if needed. Encourage workers to ask questions and clarify doubts. Regularly review and discuss the method statement during safety meetings. Question 7. Can you give an example of a task and how you would create a method statement for it? 1. Sequence of work. Inspect equipment, erect scaffolding, secure platforms, and install guardrails. 2. Hazards. Falls, falling objects, unstable surfaces. 3. Control measures. Use harnesses and lanyards, install tow boards and netting, ensure scaffolding is on stable ground. 4. Emergency procedures. rescue plan for falls, first aid availability. 5. Roles: trained scaffolders to erect, supervisor to inspect. 6. Equipment: scaffolding components, PPE, tools. 7. Training: workers must have scaffolding certification and safety training. Question 8. How do you review and update a method statement? A method statement should be reviewed and updated when there are changes in the scope of work or site conditions, after an incident or near miss to address any gaps, when new hazards are identified, when new equipment or materials are introduced, regularly, as part of a continuous improvement process. Question 9. What is the difference between a risk assessment and a method statement? Risk assessment identifies hazards, evaluates risks, and determines control measures. Method statement explains how the task will be carried out safely, based on the findings of the risk assessment. The method statement is more detailed and task-specific, while the risk assessment is a broader evaluation of risks. Question 10. How do you handle conflicting opinions about a method statement? Listen to all perspectives and understand the concerns. Refer to regulations and standards to ensure compliance. Consult with safety experts or supervisors for guidance. Revise the method statement if necessary to address valid concerns. Communicate the final decision clearly to all stakeholders.